Hey, Wilson Taylor here. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at some different remote controls for the Canon 90D DSLR camera. There's so many different choices to make, and it can be so confusing on which one should you get. So today I'm going to go over my top pick. Is this a hint of what remote control you should get and why you should even get them? So let's jump right into it. First of all, why would you even want a remote control for your camera? One of the many different benefits to having a remote control, especially a wireless remote control, is if you are vlogging, it's so difficult sometimes to hold your camera out in front of you as well as try to reach around or to the front of the camera to hit record. With a wireless remote control, it's very easy to start and stop the record. Another great benefit to a remote control, regardless if you were using a wired or a wireless remote control, is when you are shooting in perhaps a low light setting and you're using a slow shutter, when you go to touch the camera manually, it's easy to get those blurry photographs, the ones you do not want. Great way to eliminate it is with a remote control, wired or wireless. Another great reason for a remote control for your camera, think about if you're doing layered shots or composite shots. So what does that mean? If you were doing, say, a product shot and you were trying to focus in on, say, perhaps the wording up here, then down here, and so on and so forth, and you were going to layer those images, if you were manually touching the camera, each time you could be moving the camera and makes it more difficult to do those layered shots. What if you're into doing stop motion? Awesome for stop motion. You set the camera up one time and then you can go and manually move each little piece, whatever little movie that you're trying to create, and never ever have to touch the camera. Now you are convinced you need a remote control for your camera. Which one should you get? It's very confusing. You go on to Amazon, you go on to B&H, there's so many different choices that do different functions. It can be so very confusing. It can be so frustrating. At least I found it frustrating. Which one actually operates the camera? Which one operates the video? Here's a quick summary and just a brief rundown of some of the official remote controls for the Canon 90D. One option, if you just want to do photos, a very basic remote control is the RS60E3. It just operates the shutter and the focus, doesn't even zoom. It is a wired remote control that gives you just a limited range. But it has the advantage of, say, like the infrared. There will never be interference. You do not need batteries for it. It just plugs right into the side of your camera. The RC6 remote control is an option. It's an infrared remote control that gives you about 16 feet of distance of operation, but it's an infrared remote control. And for some of the reviews we read, some things that can interfere with an infrared are things like sunlights, or if you're not in a direct line of sight with the camera itself. So like a TV remote, you can't stand away from the TV box itself at an awkward angle or perhaps behind it and actually control it. So keep that in mind. It operates the shutter as well as the focus. Another option, if you want a wireless remote control, one that's Bluetooth, not infrared, is the BRE1 remote control. With the BRE1 remote control, it gives you the wireless focusing, still shooting, video recording. It gives you about a 16-foot range, the same as that infrared one. And you can even zoom with this remote control if you have the power zoom adapter. There is a ton of different third-party remote controls out there. Some of them starting for around $10 for the wired option. You can get the Bluetooth, the infrared, so many different price ranges that give you different options that the official Canon ones don't, such as a timer, which is great for doing time-lapse photography. Well, you've made it this far to the end of the video. Which remote control do I recommend? It's the wireless Bluetooth BRE one. What a great remote. I love it. I use it every day. I use it all the time. And obviously you can see I'm using it right now. I've had no problem, no interference. I have personally found that whether I'm beside the camera, behind the camera, in front of it, I've had no interference whatsoever. And I'm not just talking about studio shooting. Out in the woods, outside, it doesn't matter where you're at. It's worked perfectly. What a great remote. I give it the top reviews. So get yourself one if you're interested in doing video or doing still photos. I hope you guys like this. I hope it helped you make some informed decisions on what remote controls for you personally. So get out there and start creating something. If you guys like this content, again, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure to hit the like button, guys. Now let's get out there. Let's go. Make something. Let's get the remote control to use, and I'll see you in the next one. Because I gotta go. I'm bored. See ya. Very limited.